Oh man, Inferno could be a movie. We're talking about G2 on an 8-map win streak on Inferno until they were stopped at right here by FaZe. Vitality's last 2 losses were to G2, but in pistols, they found success, or at least denied conversions.
Through the smoke, ZywOo kicks this one off. Little 5v4 feels real good. Apex, ooh, gushed, but not quite dead. Masuda tapping away at Jax. Nico, Alexi, there's the answer. There's the 3v3, but what about Dupree? Hiding in the corner, backs turned, ice cold. He taps into the second. Now the bomb still goes down, so we've got Alexi in an interesting position. 2 players coming at him from Banana, but he turns his back to the second, and that is the fatal error. Don't turn your back on a Dane.
Yeah, never turn your back to a Dane. That's it. Sitting in emo, waiting for his moment. And when he took his first peek, he realized they had no idea. And what does he do? He lets one go to Banana, one put the bomb down, and one jumps into his waiting arms. A beautiful play, and a nice ending from both, actually. Dane's on the server here. As Vitality, they win the first pistol on Dust 2, then they lose the second, but they immediately win the second round, and we're off into the second map, and they've won another. These starts could be damning for G2, absolutely. Of course, because that bomb was planted in this situation, we've got an investment. It's interesting. Actually, some buys come out late. Looks like there's some delayed communication here.
I piece together to the end. 4 Galils, Desert Eagle, and a little peek over top, but Alexi sees nothing.
Wait, did they get that?
Share with the class.
I wasn't sure if they got the plan or not. I forgot. I was like, yeah, the money looks good. Okay, so we know what the deal is in a situation like this. Vitality win the bonus, they'll be smiling from ear to ear. And on the flip side, G2 know that they should be winning this round. They know they have good enough money, good enough investment.
Nice and quiet from G2. We had a lot of very, tempered rounds out of Team Vitality's T side to start Dust 2. Always down to the 30-second mark. G2 didn't quite have that look. Now on Inferno, getting meticulous.
Yeah, I won't lie, it didn't inspire confidence at first, but it worked. Like they still were able to close out, and I think it was really G2 just struggling again to close out on T side. But look at the B split that's potentially coming in right here. Dupree being aware of it, but still dying. Still dying here on Arch.
Yeah, something's brewing. This is exactly what they did in the pistol. Apex. Oh, blind as a bat. Perfect flash out of Alexi. He is the Grenadier. Sets records in terms of frag damage, but there's only 7 seconds. What can Masuda do? Just that one kill. Nico finds the bomb plant, and sure enough, G2, it may have been laid out of spawn. They could have just pieced it all together, but Galils are enough. With that first plant, they get a second, and that pistol means nothing for Vitality.
I don't want to talk about the psychology of sides too much because I definitely think it's overblown, but I do think it can matter. And I've seen there's certain matches in my memory, like G2 losing to Furia on Ancient, failing to even, I think, get 2 T rounds and getting eliminated from the Legend stage of the Major. This Dust 2 match where it felt like they were putting on a good face in the defaults, but they weren't able to really be that scary. And there were certain players, like we saw Jax's entries come up too late. It was brought up on the desk. Same for Nico, right? 4 kills in the second half. That's not enough. That's simply not enough. And Dust 2 especially, a map where T-side is one of the easiest, if not easier, is one where you'd expect them to get kills. But if they get it out of the way first, right, I think that's where the pressure is the least. If they can lean on their CT sides in the second half, that actually might be the mental advantage that they need.
So saved M4, MP9. What comes with it? You want to start the Force War early? Yes, they do. Deagle 5-7, such little amounts of grenades. It's got to be Magisk. And you know what? He stepped up. He had impact on Dust 2. Ooh, but the nade lands right on top of him. He's dropped to 60 health. A follow-up frag, and that one does far less. So Magisk's all right, all things considered, but trying to vie for control of Banana lends an opening here to G2. Map control is theirs to start.
Yeah, we haven't seen a style of play become more popular on Inferno of just playing with very little information and picking the right site. Doesn't always pay off, of course. This round is one where there's just not much coming in from the CT side. It's not really a bad option here, per se. But I mean, we're always past the minute mark, and they've got the map control that they're looking for. And it looks like decisions are being made.
Util to go over top. CT side leaning on the pit and the insight. So the number's not quite here for Vitality. And G2 starting to slide around this bomb site, both directions. 30 seconds, nothing's been spotted, nothing's confirmed, nothing is seen. Super passive out of ZywOo and Dupree. Looking to instead provide in the crunch time. Alexi gets flashed, but he did see one towards pit. They don't clear ZywOo right away, and he somehow comes out with 2. But luckily, m0NESY deals with Dupree inside of pit, so it's only the 2 kills from ZywOo.
Hey, that was pretty good. I mean, 10 seconds left, and they put the bomb down, and they get that close, so there's no chance for rotations. Like, they didn't get any early warning that there was an arch walk coming up, as well as the lane split, and they actually threw an additional smoke towards the pit to counter the one-way that was coming in, made sure that there was no angles to fight from. And so even though ZywOo gets the 2 frags, he's the only one who could see anything. That round's kind of over. And so it's good. So once again, we'll see the entry pack. We'll see the spacing is immaculate there, right? They're just drawing this diagonal line up the hay cart, down it, into the site. It is too much pressure for Vitality to withstand. They'll be happy to save these 3 sets of armor, their deagles, and this 1 M4. And G2 will be happy to save 2.
Hang on to what they can.
That was kind of an unfortunate death in that situation, but no trouble. Actually, whoa, m0NESY's going to pick up the op. T-side op this early on Inferno of all
Straight out the
places.
gate.
It's a big ask. There has to be something behind it. I wonder if he has that ZywOo spawn. He does have a forward one, actually, so he might go for the fast B pick.
Or mid.
Yeah, nice swinging on it. Not much to fight against here. Imagine losing this round, Connor. I mean, there's, you know, you're losing with an op in play.
Yeah.
And that op only nets you $100, right? I mean, the best thing about it is it's a better chance to win the round, but if you lose a lot. Wouldn't put Vitality, it passed Vitality to be able to pull out an eco, so they'll have to take it carefully. It really feels like an early investment to me.
It's one that definitely leans on that M4 of Magisk. He's boosted right now, of course, back B site. And he'll keep eyes on the side of the smoke, so very much ready for a gunfight. Any potential rotator being smoked off at the moment, but there is no help coming, not yet. Vitality just still leaning on what was here from the get-go. G2 at a minute, sensing up multiple directions. They've even got a player still over towards apartments, so don't forget about Hunter in all this. Bomb starting to get drawn towards top middle. They establish banana control. They see nothing out of Vitality. And just repeat last round, right?
I think the game plan here, yes, it's becoming quite clear.
Run it back.
They're knocking on the door, trying to put some pressure on, see if there's a response, a late round aggression. If nothing, hit the A site. Oh, another weird smoke. Oh.
ZywOo gets caught inside it. Not ideal. Arch player about to take a little bit of a peek, and m0NESY nails him. So there's the op, at least in with a kill. 20 seconds. G2 really taking their time with this one. Gonna make sure they clear all the corners. 5-7 comes out. Jump scare for Jax. Poor guy got absolutely battered on Dust 2.
Yep. But hey, they consistently make a good pace. Not even having to scout here because they get the map control they need. They're not dying inside a bracket early on. There's no early 5v4 for Vitality to really scare the T's. That's when you have the huge advantage. That's when the power changes completely. Even if it's versus pistols, you'd want to be the team who has 5, and they are just chilling. They're seeing what happens. And there are some ideas here. I mean, that's something new. Smoke right in the lane, tucking into it, but doesn't pay off for much. It's a solid start. It feels like, you know, I mean, we're rooting for a nuke to get here, right? Because That would be such a sick decider between these two rosters, specifically after the vitality we saw yesterday on Nuke. Such an unreal amount of clutch came into that game. We'll probably get some fantastic moments. But because of that Nuke, we have to wonder if they could pick up an Inferno today. You know, like they did that to a team who was 18-2 on the map, who could have been called the best Nuke team in the world, right? So this is a vitality like we haven't seen in a long time, if ever. That was their biggest best of 3 win since making the lineup.
And that just feels so unfathomable. But sure enough, that's kind of the sad reality that Vitality's offered us. It has not been a smooth ride. And it lasted so long, you start to have these conversations about what kind of impact does it have on the morale, the mentality. For how long can you lose? Well, right now, it's winning ways. Trailing by 2, but back in with a bye. And I feel like ZywOo did have a good amount of frags over top of m0NESY on Dust 2. Sometimes it was m0NESY on a scout, sometimes it was m0NESY with the op, but either way, ZywOo kills in abundance. No sizing up on Banana from Vitality. Again, very passive inside of this B site.
Yeah, I mean, look at the health bars, right? That's what's important for the CT side. Unconfirmed damage, they aren't getting any.
And they ate so much of it during their T side on Dust 2. I feel like that's a fresh wound.
Oh, look how timid it is. They flash B, but there is no aggression. They're just trying to scare the Ts into watching this. But look who's on the post. It's Nico.
Nade comes out from Arch side. Bit of posturing back from dupreeh. He chucks down the Incendiary as well. So burning some more time off of G2's potential split. And then the other end gets smoked off. Not just smoked either. A bit of a push, right? Some presence, something behind the utility. But this could just be an invitation. Hunter almost thinking about going out to try and catch Magisk. dupreeh body blocking the smoke. Will that create a gap? Oh, Magisk goes down. Masuda drops, and I don't know if that was heard.
No, it wasn't.
But now he's making footsteps, and there comes the Arch Wrap. dupreeh trying his damnedest to block that smoke, but Alexi's still able to get around it, and look how easy that falls in the end.
They gotta play with more confidence than that, right? We have Vitality sitting in position early on. G2 are working hard enough to get their utility out while there's still time. Yes, it comes kind of low, right? Marginally close, but by the point that all the final utility has been used from the CT side, G2 also have the space they need, right? Hunter can finally come out of halls. They have the Arch Wrap come in to kill this pit player, and there's no counterplay for Masuda, and there is no way for their teammates to help them. There is no chance. The one thing that they did this round was throw an empty flash to the top of Banana without pushing it, and just hoped that that would attract the Ts. It doesn't happen. They made their bed.
And so it's the ferocious start continued on. dupreeh lucky to be able to hold on to the M4. That's majority save from Vitality. But majority rounds, of course, the way of G2.
Man, if I had players like we have on Vitality, I'd be pushing every damn round.
They've been leashed.
And I think when we see Vitality working as they're supposed to, it's when you see the kill feed full of flash assists. You know, it is tactics. It's dupreeh turning around and going into halls. It's them retaking mid. It's them going for banana control, anything deep. We didn't even have nades being thrown from the site. No big nades landing on logs. No one to put pressure at Bell or logs. None of that was implored. You save all the money you want, but G2 know what to do with the space.
You still there, Lisbon?
That's all it takes.
Nice to have you with us. Back into the gun rounds we go. Frag towards alt mid, nothing near, but Nico, he definitely eats the damage. And anytime you can get Alexi and Nico down to about half health before you've even had to look them in the eyes, that's a good start. But oh, Nico, he sees through smoke. Over top, Apex dead. Desperation for the dive behind Nubox. Masuda gets traded out. We've got Jax with the headshot and the bomb plant and a broken B bomb site.
Goddamn.
Way faster. Completely different direction and Vitality. Oh, they're just gonna have to go back into another save.
This is the closest he's gotten, you know what I mean? Like, we're not even a spot where you can flash for his teammate there. That was the exact round that G2 were looking for, though. We have the Mac 10 bot at the beginning where Alexi has 9 grand. He decides to do something quick, and they use Weapon X, Nico, to get to the top of Banana. We know that he's made his name making these plays. He can make one half of the map feel like it's crowded with players when it's just him, and he takes that duel over top of the smoke. Kick in the teeth of Apex, and a sight wide open. But hey, at least they're making money.
Fat stacks. $10,000 Nico, 10K Hunter. Cash in the coffers. I mean, we haven't even seen G2 tested.
You could buy some phase chains with that money.
Look at this. Apex just kind of caught sleeping with the smoke peek. Jax kept it clean with the trade.
And look at, I mean, Alexia has offered up some more mobility when he picks up the MAC-10 to fly into that site blind. I mean, he literally clears out oranges wherever the CT peeks from. All he's doing is leaving a target on himself. He has to kill a player who's happy to die. I've got the classic.
There we go.
Oh yeah, some pressure on both halves of the map.
You said it before, right? If you had these pieces of Vitality, you'd be pushing every round, you'd be poking, you'd be prying. Well, Apex decides to take it into his own hands. 5 versus 4 from Vitality. Just goes ahead, takes the risk, peeks over top. But he's kind of kicked the beehive here. G2 don't want to just leave for free.
Oh man, and the late utility as well, that's just beautiful, right? Not only that, but we're maintaining vision on brackets with the high-low setup. There's no reason to pull off of this. But there still are only 2 players here. From the 45, they're still in a good position.
One boosted. Masuda, oh man, had to have been blind. I mean, he didn't even shoot a shot.
Yeah.
Just standing out there stoically, gets rocked by Jax, and this is back-to-back entries on the B site. Another save.
Yeah.
This is 3 rounds in a row. Vitality just crumble on a bomb site, and everything else slips through.
It would almost inspire more confidence if at least one more person died, but they're not even close enough to help at all. They got the 5v4, they get the late banana control, all that is really good. But then they don't cheat over at all, and they have mid control the entire time.
The whole time, there's no test. The 8 players don't move.
Yeah, the one problem about that setup when they're in lane like that, high-low, is that they have one person on the barrel watching the end of halls, and they can only see Arch because they're doubled up in lane, which means all 3 players have to be far away from B. So there was a flaw there. Of course, if G2 did go back to mid like they had been doing, then it would have benefited Vitality greatly. So it is another great call, actually, from Alexi here on G2, and I think so far, they picked the right site every single time.
Had the repeats on the A site. Suddenly, G2 decide to change that direction. And it's all good. Vitality playing like they want to end this on Nuke. You get their second timeout called, so Zonic's going to have to try to inspire something. We need a change out of Vitality.
Individuals.
Stagnant.
Individuals win rounds, but ideas win matches. And right now, G2 are ahead in both departments. I think this is a timeout to, I think one of the hardest parts about Inferno CT side is keeping a connection between your A and B players so that you're always working symbiotically on the map together, right? Whether you're taking control one place and being passive in another, working to get back something. And if both parties aren't doing their job of communicating across the map, then both sides will suffer. And we have a situation where, on the T side, you can get 5v2, you can get 5v3. And so it's important to always either have deep B control or a 4-1 setup or an overstack towards B and nothing in between.
Get a nade out of the top of mid. It's not Apex, but Masuda instead to try to fight towards Banana. Here we go, something a little different, right? Get on top of the half wall. They fall right back off it. They're gonna try again. Oh, just as Nico gets into the corner. Woo! Gets down from the roost. Fire lands on Nico's feet. He's back on 50 HP. But at least this is a little more lively. Something out of Vitality, trying to fight for this control and doing good damage.
Yeah, I mean, how do you find your nades, right? You have a spot where you just saw them, so now you know that nade lands. That's some good damage to kick things off.
Continuous in the flashbangs. And this is the sort of pressure that could just end up funneling G2 towards A. Where right now we've only got 2 players. ZywOo, while blind, finds Hunter. Here comes the peek from Masuda, and we've got fights on both fronts.
Oh, the fluidity now. I mean, we had Dupree called over, an extra mercenary. That gave Masuda the confidence to move up forward, knowing he'll be traded.
And imagine, off of the pause, Zonic
Right.
putting a little bit more juice into Vitality as they're looking to lock in a 5v3. ZywOo behind boxes, comes around, and that's Alexi's shutout. It's only Jax so far from G2 to respond. ZywOo waiting, m0NESY just behind him, and a little creeping crawl from Dupree to drop the young Opera.
Oh.
This one is good from Vitality, and there it is, a reward from Zonic, a reminder, a little bit of injection of energy, and some movement, some fluidity from Vitality. That's what gets them their second.
Absolutely, man. If they were a little bit foggy, that would have cleared it up. Off the tack, huge help from Zonic, and the ideas push them forward. None of these kills are particularly hard. Nade damage is on place. That's just off the read. They see their enemies before they hit them. Masuda kills an enemy blind on the middle of Banana. They shut down the lurks. They respond. And for G2, they can let that happen. You know, they have a round, a lead to play with where they can see that. It comes down to the reaction, right? This is taking some time, but G2 are still kind of comfortable. Their game plan is going well. Their entries are here. It's a T side that goes better than Dust 2's. And Vitality have just pushed them to level 2. They're not at level 3 yet. You know, this game becomes real when the streak comes in. So we'll see if Vitality can make that happen.
Quickly into the apartments here, G2. Clearing out a route. While Vitality did use Dupree to throw that grenade down middle off of the start, there's then nothing even looking into brackets. Last thing I want to see is Vitality start to recede back into more passiveness.
They scared them with that little bit of Hall's presence, right? Just let them know, you're not in here. We're telling you.
You know it, we know it.
Yeah. You can show us that energy, but you got to keep it going.
The pressure has been let off. Look at this. G2 already starting to get inside of brackets at the 50-second mark. And Dupree falling back, but ooh, Alexi thinks he could just go jumping through the smoke. It costs him. Magis gets shredded by Jax. And now ZywOo inside of the site, tries to find an angle, fully flashed, misses his chance to shoot downwards. Dupree gives us another, but it's Nico in the bomb site, and it's G2 man advantage.
Damn, yeah, they do it. I mean, Apex, if they make a huge mistake, maybe
Like that?
2v2.
Jax potentially offering an opening. Nico posted with the op, and a smoke grenade creates a bit of ambiguity for Apex. Oh, but he gets cleared out from Hunter inside of the little
I
pit.
heard the op shot come through, got
Yes, sir.
distracted, and that's just it. Okay, that one, I mean, at least there was an odd that there could be a retake coming in. Like, that's one step better, but at the same time,
For the first time.
yeah, and G2, they take over Hall's control. Jax is up there, he's like, I'm here early, no one's home. Right, I'm breaking the furniture, right? You're getting called out at this moment. They forfeit pit control, Hunter gets to the end of Halls, they hit him with the lane hit. They lose one in Alexi, but the trade-in from Jax, that was key. One of the rifles down, and then it's a 2v4, even though Alexi dies first. Inside that site, they can't make it happen. Dangerously good, our G2 at the moment.
Vitality with the lifeline, buyback right in.
The biggest trap is thinking passive is safer. That is the biggest trap.
Ooh. Oh, nice nade damage. Alexi and Nico, again, the victims of the utility. Oh, man. Nico sees that as an invite to fight. More damage against him. Flashbang versus Masuda. He's gonna still try to get that kill, and it's Nico in the end to get him. Apex will trade immediately, falls back a bit. That has to pull somebody off of this A site though, and Vitality's numbers thinning all over. G2 creeping.
Now some moves being made. Apex with the first response. But there'll be a couple new cameos.
Oh, timed well, and here comes Magisk. Right behind him, tries to dive back in, gets away, and the op's posted. We got Hunter in the corner. Finally, Vitality again with a bit of an edge. Magisk backside, bomb to be picked back up. Hunter, what can you offer? This utility is such a nuisance for him, but he still has a chance at this 1v1 duel, and he gets through smoke. Behind ZywOo, sticks the barrel to the back of his head. Kovac's blood coursing through his veins, but he's slain by Magisk from the backside. It may have cost ZywOo, but the op gets picked back up, and Vitality find their third round with 2 players still alive and kicking.
Yeah, he nearly found a path in the jungle, but even Hunter wasn't good enough. This re-aggression was so solid, and I mean, even though Apex, I think, only got 1 more kill right there, got some extra damage in the back, that sets up Magisk beautifully. And again, cameos, new players coming in to help out. It's been dupreeh in the past, now Magisk. ZywOo with the op right in place. How can they expect that after what they've seen so far? Even though there's no confirmation they can keep it going, we are seeing crop circles, okay? If you're a conspiracy theorist, you might see some potential here in Vitality, and you know what? You might be correct.
Oh, nice nades. The barrage finds m0NESY. The Molotov finds Masuda, and he's super nervous that somebody's gonna try to follow that up or hold an angle that's gonna end him. Another nade comes out. Perfect. Alexi, NiKo also added to a dangerous tally of low players. dupreeh able to dive back with a teammate by his side. What about Hunter?
Ooh, he's trying to speed up.
Oh, but he looks the wrong way. And so Magisk easily ends him. And Alexi with m0NESY both still so low from that initial utility fight that goes down on Banana. Vitality starting to power up. A CT side that they can begin to be proud about only because they start to get active.
Absolutely, and these flashes are so good now. I mean, every single fight is so one-sided. We even have counter utility coming in, but theirs are better. However, Jack.
Not over.
Yeah.
Smokes both ways. Apex. Oh! He dies to Jax.
And they smoked a molly. They had CT open for a second. Jax turns his attention back. 2 players coming in to retake the exact same spot.
He's holding the angle. He's got 2 of them walking in, both from the same side. Jax, instant execution. He's on 3 kills already. P250, but ZywOo turns his head, and it's Finland's finest to close out this one and give G2 their 8.
Yeah, man, like Alexi right there to help Jax out. Beautiful crosshair placement, right? Leave it to Jax. That was a quick one, and that free frag, I mean, Apex's spray took all but 30 minutes here. Jax did not see anything for the first half of that. He needed to die in that spot. But he was the one with the death note. He was the one writing down names, and that's a little celebration.
Well, one that's absolutely merited. We talked about how little Jax was able to offer us on Dust 2, currently sitting 11-7. And a critical duel that reopened that B bomb site and gave G2 not only the last round, but check out this one, a fantastic chance, even despite a 4v5. Credit to the nades of Magisk. NiKo gonna have to celebrate from the sidelines as his 4 other teammates try to recover.
Yeah, they're now orchestrating consistently all this early damage to the point that they're literally taking out NiKo before seeing him. What more can you ask for?
Couple grenades still here sprinkled across Vitality. 2 frags, 1 smoke. There's always a chance that dupreeh could go hard with that M4, but he needs to be in the right position, and right now that position is B, where in fact he has 3 teammates. 1 boosted, 2 in sight.
Oh, molly missed.
Scout and play, and that molly could come back to haunt them, but for now Apex has to allow for them to cross. Magisk minimizes himself, but he loses Masuda. Oh, and his deagle betrays him. Nothing comes out of Magisk's position. Masuda down empty-handed. dupreeh gets in here with that M4, but the bomb's been planted, and we've got G2 in what seems like a comfortable spot. Alexi softened up ever so slightly.
They kind of needed that unreal round from Magisk right there, right?
Yes,
he had the chance to get a few shots in. The first one's a headshot he might even be able to get to. Not going to happen. Nade gets missed after the fact as well. G2 bully their way into the site they want to take again. That missed molly felt like an opportunity as he could stay at first oranges, but eventually I think he gets tapped out. Might have been right through those missiles. And all right, some final kills coming down. G2 nearly touching on 10 in what feels like 15 minutes. They look good, man. They look really good.
Yes, they do. They look about as great as this crowd.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are handsome.
A beautiful scene for your favorite CS players.
Yeah. It is the city of lights, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. With good reason.
It's so pretty, it's so loud. And it's so friendly. I think it's the weather.
It's gotta be. Yeah, it's gotta
I've been nicer since I got here.
Yeah.
You know, with this another tack timeout, 3 of 4. And I think it makes sense, you know, even though they have this whole other half to play, they got to meet a quota quick because their T side is much worse than their CT side for Vitality. They're looking at 44% of their T rounds won compared to a 57 normally on Inferno. An overperformance here from G2 already. It is a map they love.
But nothing overzealous here from Vitality, hanging on to a few grenades. And just letting G2 leak across this entire map so far.
Yeah.
No challenges out of the gates here in round 13. A half that's nearly net G2 double digits.
And there may be a bit of a mind game. You know, we saw some early round Arch plays out of G2, and then they've come off of that a bit. Started to give more love to the B site. And in the past couple, Vitality have started to play there, try to maintain some information. And here, late smoke into mid. They don't want to run into any kind of stack. They're worried about it being some kind of bait. Oh, and they're trying to hear a footstep. Hunter does not give him a fast one. That might be free. Oh,
nearly.
But did he see 2 cross?
I think so.
Oh, man.
The first one spotted, the second shot at. So you'd think that if G2 decide to press into the brackets, they'll be on high alert for Arch side. Hell, it might even be better to just try to fixate on lane, but
ZywOo.
They send Alexi around. ZywOo shooting back as he just gets all the way back into the bomb site, finds his cover. Dupree's inside of a smoke. Dangerous game versus Alexi, but he comes out on top. A barrel stuff as a B hit wants to come in, but with 12 seconds, fire on their feet. And Apex, oh, he gets swarmed, but Masuda locks in 2 kills. Is there enough time? Modesty jumps up.
Oh my God.
It's so close.
They let him pass.
It's on. 3v2. And Vitality all back in their spawn. A frag, a flash, a kit on Dupree, but Monacy deep and waiting, and delivering already. Who's next? It could be ZywOo, one of the world's best, versus one of the youngest. An off duel, and he nails it! Headshot in from Monacy. His clutch so good, and Hunter helps to close it.
Wow.
With just enough time on their side, that's 10.
A game of milliseconds. Apex cannot complete the spray once again. Another spot, an extra kill would have been the end.
And Masuda nearly does what he has to backside.
Yeah, and then we have a player in CT crack spotting where the bomb hasn't crossed yet and allows for a second for that to take place. G2 couldn't have fought back if he wanted to. They had to go and get it down. There would have been absolutely no shame in losing from that point on, and Chet, G2 still get to double digits before the half is over. And pistols. Pistols again here for Vitality.
Synonymous with desperate. Oh, just to add insult to injury, a wallbang from Monacy onto Apex. Go hide in your bomb site. I'm coming.
We have a brand new Jax this game. 12 frags already here. Literally triple what we saw, you know, out of the first 20 rounds on Dust 2.
Incredible. You can see the energy surge through him. You can see the effect it has on his teammates. They're reciprocating. Nico cheering his name, but Nico just got rocked by Apex. A Deagle with 17 health. at a second player backside, 5-7 on Masuda. Apex on the brink of death, just trying to spam shots through it. He loses his teammate, continues to fire the Deeg. Jax connects to ZywOo on that rotate, and so unfortunately for Vitality, pistol's not nearly enough. And that M4 never even spotted, not a part of this equation. It'll be held on for round 15, and G2 could honestly be gunning for a 12th T round win.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be more than comfortable moving into half number 2. I felt like they were almost tilted when we saw the end of Dust 2. That there almost felt like there was dissent when they were making plays, like going in and out of mollies on different entries, going for refrags. It felt like maybe it's not a losable position. Don't even think about wasting this risk. It's 4v5, we can still win. They never kind of had that energy. It felt like they were playing in a spot where it was pure desperation. Of course, it could be a symptom of the map. That's where Vitality wanted to take them. They knew they could rock their confidence. But now it's rocking back.
While the boat rocks, it also starts to sink. Vitality, an awful feeling. Just shooting for 4, and well, the double op comes out. ZywOo and Magis gonna swing the big greens. No, excuse me, ZywOo and Apex.
And Apex, okay. All right.
You know, in Vitality's case, you can't just look at like one person who's the problem. It's simply just not enough from the team. There's no carry attempt. They are just not delivering on Inferno. Their job's not going to get any easier after this round when we swap sides. They'll have a few minutes to collect themselves before they take on a challenge and a half. They've been so consistent in at least sprinkling one more round at the end of every first half. Twice versus ENCE, once versus G2. A consistency in their playoff results. Let's see if they can do it again. That's a 5v4 at the very least, but no apartments control, no sir. Not for the CTs, that is.
And this might let their guard down, you know, for the second scope of the round, especially considering the rotation time. And they walk up to Banana. Apex, beautiful move right there, understanding they couldn't expect ZywOo to be there. But it's been a rude awakening. 3-on-5, a new challenge presents itself for G2. They've won a few 4v5s. An early flash, and actually could feel like a fake. Pair of footsteps at the 35-second mark. And the CTs will be on high alert. Rotation comes over.
One final attempt at a 2-man disadvantage with a smoke in front of them and a bunch of utility to still keep them back. We get Masuda locked into oranges. Molotov's destined for him, but it misses again. Spreads a little bit, and he still has that pocket to hold on to. So this is a very tough look for G2. Jax gets one, but he is silenced. Hunter, way too much to ask. Turns it around towards Coffins with a ton of damage. Oh, imagine if he had just a little more time. But with that, Vitality take themselves a measly 4th round, and they need to collect themselves if they want to turn around Inferno. If not, it's Nuke. We'll see you in a second.
Hey guys, I'm Bigozera, and here is Jax.
Hi guys, it's Simple and Madden.
I'm Nico and this is Robs, and today we're going to be playing Skin in the Game by CS Money.
Maybe it's... No, the Kenny's one is Battle Scared, yeah?
I don't know this, to be honest.
Okay, we need second guess. Second sticker, please.
What did Colzera have when he did jump shots on Mirage?
Put the clip.
Yeah. Let's just go for Colzera.
Colzera, it's MLG Columbus, 2016. Fallen, Dreamhack, Cluj Napoca, Cobblestone.
Right.
Colzera, 2016 Major. What was the name of it?
MLG Columbus.
MLG Columbus, 2016.
The Clutch King with a red one. I think it's Robs.
I'll take a clue on this one. You have one more help?
Robs, you are sure Robs
Yeah,
was
yeah,
playing? Because maybe it's Robs against us in Katowice.
I think Katowice, no? It was in the grand final?
Yeah, it was Katowice grand final against FaZe, right? Against G2, sorry.
Against G2, yeah.
Yeah.
I just go...
It is 100% me then. Rops, Katowice 2020.
I think in finals. I think against G2.
In the finals against G2.
2021, Katowice, props.
I think it was Fnatic, he was playing for Mouse.
Yes, Mouse, Fnatic.
Against Fnatic on Cash, which year?
It has to be headshot, yeah?
I think it's 5 headshots. I mean, it's 5
I mean,
stars,
it
right?
can be like Lacro as well, I think.
Who gave more headshots? Happy, right?
No, Nico is a chat machine more.
Simple.
What the hell?
What is this? Simple.
So you think it's a trap? The simple.
Navi against G2, PGL Stockholm 2021.
Against Gambit, PGL Stockholm Major.
Nico versus Titan, ESL Pro League season 5 or 6. The one I missed, no? Yeah. Okay.
The refresh 1v5 was with Khalil.
Oh yeah, true.
So,
yeah, has
probably
to
my
be that one.
best guess.
You have Refresh, Inferno, against Liquid,
1v5.
1v5 or 1v4.
Yeah.
On this side,
I know who
Yes,
they
23.
killed. I know everyone.
and events, maybe Blast.
It was Refresh,
On Pro League.
Team Heroic against Team Liquid.
Refresh. ESL Pro League season 14.
And so here we are, back in the beautiful city of Lisbon. Night has fallen upon us, but the Counter-Strike still kicks on. And
Yes.
this crowd, lively as ever. I don't see any yawns. How could you be tired with CS like this in the server? Awesome turnaround from G2, from map 1 to map 2. They want to take this series to Nuke, and Nuke could absolutely deliver because Vitality just yesterday showed us incredible things. But I'll stop talking about Nuke,
Okay.
because we still have a second half to talk about here on Inferno.
Yes, we do. I mean, we have a half that should be a gimme. But yesterday, Vitality on Nuke, that should have been a gimme for ENCE. So let's see if they can break new ground here and pick up another pistol. That's what they're looking for. That is what they're looking for. Will it be the case?
Pistols have been weird between these two teams.
Yeah, between the conversions and the pistols one.
Oh, Nico gets gushed
Damn. Leave
and
it-
taken down. It's Masuda with the answer. Little peek from Alexi. Doesn't want Banana to go down for free, but what's one man gonna do in the face of all of Vitality? He falls back. Teammate next to him. Tons of util here for Vitality as well. No rush.
No, none
Now,
at
if you're gonna
all.
make this comeback happen, it's gonna take time.
It will, yeah. I mean, use up the clock. Again, it's a resource for you. I think the one thing, again, to contrast Dust2 and Inferno, we've seen is G2 have used the clock better, both T sides so far. Vitality, they wait, but it's empty patience. There's not actually any map control being worked on sometimes, that utility getting used against them later. So we want to see them, around this time in the round, start to make decisions, as opposed to 20 seconds, 10 seconds, when they haven't actually done a good job putting pressure in other places. So, I mean, this is a good start. They'll get in the site, they get the bomb down. Stack has gone the other way. And at least I feel like there was no chance of this being a Vitality victory without this pistol. But, now there's a world where at G2, it's the pressure. They are the ones a whole map down.
But still so far ahead on Inferno.
It is. I'm trying my hardest here.
Always a romantic.
Yeah.
Hunter, no romance, no love. Guns down Dupree with the Berettas. And ZywOo's got a pair of his own.
I'm happy to see consistently decent performances on average from Apex and Alexi. I think that's the reason we have him here today in semis. I'll keep saying that. It's an important story for him. And I think, you know what? There is a correlation between playing well and calling well. We see some... it's hard to both do the job as somebody who could do it as a six-man spectator, but also has to deliver individually. Your emotions are real too. You get shot in the head every single round. That means maybe you don't want to call an eco strat.
I sympathize.
Yeah,
That's why it's the toughest job.
it is.
Electronic really figured out the formula.
Yeah, what did he? Man, what a phenom he's been.
I just can't stop talking about Na'Vi, but
Yeah.
here we go. We get the force in. Scout for Monacy. MP9 on Hunter. Nico's Deagle's had a couple highlights so far this series.
Dust2 was like his first 7 kills or something.
But man, all things considered, only 5 kills for Nico.
That's true.
It's crazy to see, you know, if I were to tell you G2 have 11 rounds and a half, would you expect Nico to have only 5 kills? As of late, maybe you would.
No, not at this event.
Not at this event.
Like in terms of before this event, this year, he said it himself. I think that's what you're referencing. But at this event, #1 rated player. They win the series, I guarantee you he'll be at the top.
We saw that, right? The beast of Dust2. But he's given all that space over to Jax.
Time starts to leak a bit, and at this point,
almost.
Wow. Oh, but they don't get the frag. I mean, Nico even commits off another kill. They'll pull the attention of Alexi for a second, but it's fickle. I mean, look at this. They're actually in a pretty damn good spot.
Pistol wins haven't meant conversions. That's the tale of all this. Hunter in the corner. Alexi with a nade out. That's going to draw the attention. MP9. Oh! And Alexi comes back with the 5-7. We got Alexi still trying to hold down Art. He delivers again. Dupree comes through with the kill, but Jack's inside a pit. They've got it. Oh, they hold.
Oh, we were just looking for 11-6, and now it's 12-5.
Pistols don't mean anything.
Nope, not at all. I mean, the setup, it was inspired. They weren't sitting there and waiting. They had 4A. They had the Cubby in play, Hunter with the best gun in that position, and Alexi to draw attention. And Alexi from a month ago does not get this kill right here. Okay, that's the difference.
Sliver of a second. Ice cold is Alexi B. He's given us a strong performance as well here. You know, that's kind of been the tale.
Yep.
We get a step up from Nico. We get a step up from Alexi. That's the type of G2 that suddenly finds themselves carving a path towards grand finals. Now, 7 rounds to lead over top of Vitality. They kickstart their own economy. Rob an AK and a Galil.
And you see a round like this with Eagles, and you're like, well, it's just for fun. We're going to try to get some kills. They need the win. There's 13 on the line here. G2 picked this up with $0 in the bank account for Vitality. They got to crack open this heavy setup. Look at the deep control.
Ooh, Monacy hanging on. Jax comes out, saves him. And then Hunter also here to try and help, but it's all Alexi. Ooh, attacking it from the back. Bomb's been dropped, unfortunately, for Apex. He could have just had a chance to sprint in. Goes for the Deagle duel, and Alexi and Nico layer on top of one another to give us 13 rounds to G2.
That late molly.
Dirty.
That had it right there. It actually mattered so much. That could have actually been a bomb plant here for Apex. And a nice shot. I mean, a nice shot or two. Yeah. That's how I felt too, man.
Yeah. Couple Deags. 8 rounds to lead, and just Glocks in from Vitality this time.
Looks like Nico could end on 5 kills and it wouldn't be an issue.
And what a world that is.
Oh no. Okay, now he's up to the plate.
Oh, it's a bit of a test. And the Glocks get through him. Fast flank out from Hunter. Once more, bomb will be dropped. So in one of these moments where Vitality are just maybe looking for a plant, if even. Ooh, Dupree. He'll get silenced by Hunter. That is 14 rounds for G2, 2 away from ending Inferno nice and easily. But the buys come in from Vitality. We said without a pistol, we wouldn't get to see something. They win pistol, the force buy follows, and yes, we get a gun round at least. Singular.
Yeah, at least. They had a freer one a couple of rounds ago, but now they'll go up against the op. Fight from behind. Good luck. Good luck.
Boost being called for. Look at the activity out of G2. Did we ever see Vitality inside apartments?
Not once.
Not once.
The housing market is ridiculous, and they didn't want to. They spent all their money on their players. They couldn't afford apartments.
Especially in Denmark. Alexi, 44 health, relegated to the corner, can't escape. Monacy waiting. And it's actually Nico to pick up a kill versus ZywOo. Big scalp to take.
Oh, this is two-pronged pressure, right? I mean, they're working on A just as much as B, and Jax will get picked off through the mid-smoke. That's something.
Oh, but Magisk eats the shrapnel.
We got a couple CTs that are beat up a bit.
Gives his utility to the teammates behind him, so at least he's just going to focus on that crosshair and hope to hit the headshot. It's Alexi on the receiving end, who just threw down a smoke grenade.
He actually still has a molly and a flashbang for himself.
45, and they're going to test it. They're going to go right through. Masuda, he takes to the front of this charge.
This
Gets
boost.
right past. Nico looking for his chance to go up. Masuda walks into it. Executed by Nico. Looks for the follow-up through the spam, but nope. Just tidbits of damage. Bomb plant comes through. Flash is being sent in. Nico tries to chase them. That's team damage, though, on top of it. So a tough spot for these last two Ts to try and hold on. m0NESY, quick off counter. There's another from Hunter. A 1v1 for Magisk. m0NESY pressing up. Magisk slides right in. And Vitality are going to give us just a little bit more.
Yeah, that's something good, at least. Yeah, a nice attempt there in the clutch, but even better played from Magisk, right? Didn't play it scared, came forward, tried to get a nice off angle, punish m0NESY for that shoulder pleat that he loves to do. And the flash is solid. I mean, yeah, I'd be kind of frustrated too. Couldn't ask for a better situation. They were blind. I mean, they're aiming at CT spawn. You're going to die sometimes. No big deal.
I like that from Magisk. Doesn't hide back on Banana. Keeps sliding it in.
Wow. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine over here.
I think I can. I think I can. We all know you can, Nico.
Oh, yeah.
2 rounds away.
It's that anger, you know, when you're playing with, 8 rounds to spare, being that angry is why Nico is Nico. So what's the purchase? What's the purchase? It won't be perfect. But, I mean, there's some money spent here. This is interesting. Oh, okay. They're not willing to let off the gas just yet.
A force war. Let's get it on. Could be an invitation for a Vitality T-side comeback.
Man, based just off that second round after the pistol. They won with that. There should be a layup.
Should be.
Should be.
This round is Vitality immediately into apps. Movement from G2 towards Banana. But is this just one guy? It's just Magisk down there.
It is, in fact, one Dane stealing all the attention.
Trying to set up what's going to be the apartments pop. Time to test Jax. Had an excellent first half. Smoke grenades down at his feet. He's got a bit of a pocket to play around. Oh, but he gets tagged to 40. That's not ideal. And ZywOo's trying to find him. Meanwhile, m0NESY grabs away the attention because he drops that bomb. ZywOo's not forgetting about the possibility, but now ZywOo's all alone. And Jax just sitting in a smoke takes all the life out of Vitality. m0NESY's rotate comes through.
Jax is so insane.
He sits on the bicycle and just looks to cruise across the finish line. We've got 9 more for G2 to close. This is how it happens. m0NESY boosted into Dupree, catching another player inside of the apartments. So while ZywOo gets down quickly, the other guys kind of trail behind.
Yeah.
And m0NESY will punish for it. Now Vitality, tough spot. They force with everything they can. It's 4 Desert Eagles and a Tech 9 that separate them from Nuke.
Can they stop the inevitable? Can they prove to put on an even more impressive comeback than we've seen from them in ever?
Getting close. But Alexi's almost dead. Nico's got to swap to the Deeg. Not ideal. Fair fight. Everybody still stands, despite the shaky legs of Alexi B. Banana retained from G2.
But look how much more of an irritant they are here in this situation. I mean, even though Vitality threw a lot at that, they stuck around. They still have control, and they cheat a player over. 4A locked in.
Oh, perfect peek. Hunter takes 2, but we've got a little life here from Vitality. Alexi barely standing. Jax again from Bicycle. Now this guy saw nothing but gray smokes last round. Now it should be made easy, but Magisk has other ideas. Vitality fighting tooth and nail to try and keep this one going, and sure enough, they find that bomb plant back site. It's the double Danes versus Alexi and Nico. And that smoke continues to stay plumed. They wait and they wait.
This is about giving space to Nico.
Both CTs with kits, neither with utility. Oh, Magis!
Whoa, okay.
Suddenly finds another headshot, and that is an invitation for Alexi to leave. Vitality continue on.
It feels like that would have absolutely been the game with Dupree low in the pit. Nice shot from Magisk. They read into that aggression, and they pull one back. That's 7, but just looking for dignity rounds, it feels like. One interesting thing they did towards Jax was Jax didn't even have time to use his one-way because they smoked the pit. And that can also be something you can do where instead of mollying it and having that smoke come down, or where you nade it, that also can't be countered. Using the smoke in it of itself, so there's no one-way. You don't have to worry about big pit, but Jax played it perfectly on the situation. Right now he does lose out. And G2 are actually back to these pistols. Been a dotty performance in the second half, but Vitality have actually won 3.
I'm down with this. Hunter gets hyper-aggressive. Oh, he's dead. Never mind. Apex turns it around, and that's the mid-aggression locked out. So they fall back to the Deagles. m0NESY with the cheeky Zeus. Where's that at? Inside A site, he waits.
Yeah, he hasn't picked his spot yet.
So they continue to fall at the hands of Magis. Shadow advantage. There's a nice answer. You know, Jax just hasn't gotten any action, but every time they come at him, he's good for one. AK picked up. What if Nico were to just stop the show right here on Banana?
Don't say it.
What if Nico peeks around this wall and just gives us the Deagle highlight of the event? He's locked in up close. He'd have to do it while being 9 and 12. And they're all just staring at him. He lines up the one, and Magis clears it right away. So a singular kill here, and not that they know it, but an open B bomb site. Jax picked up that AK.
Damn, look at the respect. I mean, they're actually slowing this down to try to find him first. They don't want to run into a bait. CT smoke comes down, rifle back here. And Jax will make himself known. They'll actually look to hunt him, and Jax has already evacuated. You know, I think actually, you know, there's a world where a ZywOo does not live, and it's kind of expensive. Oh, okay.
Hey.
All right. Talk to him, Jax.
Yeah, that's right. Nice little golf clap.
Like that.
Well earned.
Let's go. Oh!
Hit him with it.
Trey Phip to the balcony. The no look.
Snarly. Bomb pops. Vitality, that's 8. Does anybody here believe in the Vitality comeback? And who thinks G2 is going to squash these noobs?
Oh, a bit more conviction on that side. Well, I mean, 7 to go, right? That's what you got to tell yourself.
But this one,
one round at a time, all the platitudes. They've got G2 on pistols. That's looking good. m0NESY will try the Zeus again.
last time he had a Deagle, you know, so there was a little more depth. But he is layered with the AK, so that's kind of something. And, you know, think back, right? We have seen Vitality throw a couple players into the apartments to try and take out map control.
It actually might be hard to read the money for Vitality. So if you don't play this like an Antico, you might go into halls when you don't want to.
Sure enough, they're coming. Separate entrances as well. The pieces are in place here for G2. They could end this with the upset. A round they're not supposed to win. Dupree, his back's open. Jax, double headshot, 5v3 for G2.
And enough is known now with the boost and the second player that peaks, so they might rush
Oh!
this. But Nico says no. Shuts the door in their face.
Just when you thought Vitality had a chance, Nico reminds him who's boss. His Desert Eagle burned out from the corner. P250 here for Alexi. We've got something back, but there's the spam from Jax, and he has absolutely cranked it up a notch. Apex still alive here, half health, with 2 more to take. And while it is a scare, he could still stop them. 30 seconds, bomb on his back.
Monacy's just a pawn. He's only got this USP. I mean, this is possible. We've seen Apex number of times. 1v3, 1v2 in this match.
Apex looking. Oh, Monacy with just the sidearm ends up closing on Inferno, but that is Jax. France's finesse, as all of a sudden he takes to the top of the scoreboard after such a sad showing on Dust 2. A dominant 16-8, a scoreline that G2 can be proud of, and one that will invigorate them going into Nuke.
And we have an even set of kills here for Vitality, but no